You're the chef of the Bermuda team for the upcoming Commonwealth Games. There's been a lot of preparation, a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. As the chef, you've been to the Gold Coast. How do you feel things are progressing for April?
Well, I think it's. I think the Gold Coast is going to be incredible. I had a chef de mission meeting in October. I went to the Gold Coast. I saw the venues, and they are right on track. So I'm excited. Also, the qualification deadline for Bermudian athletes is coming up. So that is the 22nd of January, and I know that everybody is hustling and bustling to try and make that their qualification standard by that time. So as of right now, we don't have anybody on Team Bermuda, but we have some qualifiers, some potential qualifiers. So hopefully we get a bunch.
Now that you've come back and you've had a chance to see the venue and everything, what are some of the things you're looking forward to at the games that will sort of excite the Bermuda athletes who are selected on the team?
You know what? Truthfully, it's the Commonwealth Games. It speaks for itself. I want them to go out there and do amazing work. You know, I think that we tend to say, you know, little Bermuda, small Bermuda, but we've got people on this team who are multiple-time Olympians. We've got world champion. I mean, there are people who could do some damage in the Gold Coast. So for me, I'm looking forward to some amazing performances. At the end of the day, yes, it's the Gold Coast of Australia, and there are kangaroos, koalas, and surfing, but we are there to win medals. We're there to make finals, and we're there to break Bermuda records. So,
what can one expect from the chef?
Oh, whatever they need. No, really. I mean, my expectation and the expectation of the Bermuda Olympic Association is that exactly what I said. That we are sending, hopefully, the best team that we can send, the most representative team, and I want them to do well. So what they can expect from me is for me to, I will stick to the wicket. I'll come with whatever it is that they need. But right now, it's about the athletes and their coaches meshing to get us some good performances.
Any concerns over there?
No. Really, I mean, the organizing committee they're on it. We've had communication from them since August of last year, so they have been, everything is underway. We've got a very extensive visa process that everybody on the long list had to undergo. So basically it's just paperwork right now, and the staff in the office is doing an amazing job. But no, I think it's going to be incredible. The facilities look great, the venue is amazing, and I'm looking forward to an amazing games.
Mm-hmm. Have you been there recently?
October for the meeting,
okay.
Chef meeting.
Okay.
So we actually went for, you know, they do a chef meeting ahead of time. So we did that. We did a tour of the venues and the village and talked about tech.
How many spots were available for Bermuda? Because I know they allocate a slot of total amount of athletes, and then they divvy it up. So how many spots were available for Bermuda?
20.
20 in total?
20 in total.
Okay.
So it is, each country was allocated a number of spots that they could fill. We have several more than 20 on the long list, obviously, because there are people vying for these spots. So if we have all 30 of them qualify, then the standards committee and the executive committee of the Bermuda Olympic Association, they have some decisions to make. And basically, we have some people who, you know, are brand spanking new, who are vying for those spots against Some people have a whole lot of experience. And right now they're all on even ground. So,
What's the deadline for? Did you say what the deadline?
yeah,
for qualification? It's been-
January 22nd.
And how many have reached the standard so far? You're saying how many have reached?
I can't tell you because, I mean, there are quite a few, but they are steadily coming in. The NSGBs are hard at work, steadily submitting information and qualification standards. Some of the sports we've set standards that they have to achieve over several performances. Some, depending on the nature of the sport, some of them they have to achieve a time or a score at one big international meet, things like that. Some at 2, some at 3. So
just because you qualify doesn't mean you're going there.
that's correct. Qualification does not mean selection.
Yeah. No,
And also, it is our intention to send qualified athletes who will do well for Bermuda. So it does not mean that we will be filling all of those spots even.
But there was talk of a triathlon team, a 4-member team. Is that still in the consideration for Bermuda to send a team?
Absolutely, absolutely. If all 4 of them...
Flora, Thomas Smith, and Erica Hawley, I believe.
Right, so right now there are 4 triathletes on the long list. And, I mean, as I said, January 22nd is the qualification date. The BTA is hard at work submitting all of the information to support their qualification. But each athlete has to qualify in their own right, individually to get there. And then if all 4 do, then we get a team. And I mean, that'll be exciting. If all 4 of them get in, it'll be great.
Question about the availability of spots.
Mm-hmm.
If a country, how do they determine how many spots are available for you?
Well, a lot of it is population based.
Right.
And also depending on performance, I guess. They've allocated some past performances.
Right.
They've allocated some spots. So, but basically this was handed down to us by the
Mhm.
Commonwealth Games Federation.
Right.
So they said, here are your spots. You can fill them or not. And that's that.
No. I understand that part, but is it a bit unfair that if you have 30 athletes that qualify and a country of a bigger nation that had, say, 180 spots allocated but only fill 150, is it a bit of a disadvantage to a country that has quality athletes but you have to take out 10 because you were only allocated X amount of spots?
Then I don't think that happens. When
But
I
the
think of,
opportunity.
when I think of England,
Yes.
England had a number of spots. I think it was 300 and something, right? They said that there are 1,400 people on their long list.
Right.
There are a lot of people who are not going.
Right.
1,100 not going, qualified or not. And I mean, we have. I think Jamaica has 130.
Mm-hmm.
They had over 300 on their long list, so they're sending half. They're leaving half of those people home.
Right.
It is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. And the reason they're doing that is that the standard of competition at the Commonwealth Games just gets better and better. It gets higher and higher, which is why we at the Olympic Association have to keep our standards high so that we're not sending athletes who are out of their depth. And you know what? I mean, I hate to say it doesn't come down to finances, but frankly, it's an expensive, long trip. We're not sending anybody on vacation. We're not doing it. So the people who we send, rest assured, they will be incredible ambassadors for Bermuda, not just in sport, but I mean, they will be representatives of this country in and out. Role models and the whole 9 yards. So
Once the 22nd comes and goes and everybody has in the paperwork, when can we possibly see a team announced?
right. So that's always a tough time. We have the standards committee has a 2-week deliberation process. So we will go through all the information coming in from all the NSGBs and all of their long list athletes. And we will meet, deliberate, pick a team, hopefully, and then recommend that team to the executive committee. The executive committee meets the 20th of February, and the final team will be ratified by the General Assembly in their meeting on the 22nd of February.
So by the 24th, we should have an announcement.
You should have by the 23rd, really. I mean, the team will be selected and ratified by the 22nd of February.
Okay, so
But to be fair, they're all they all are under the impression that they're going.
Right.
So all the athletes are preparing for the Commonwealth Games right now, and that's sort of the expectation.
Right.
So it's a list of 30, that's roughly 30 that's in consideration, and 20 will go, you're saying, maximum of 20?
Maximum of 20 will go. I am not saying 20 will go.
Okay. How many sports are represented? How many different types?
Six.
Of sports? Six.
Yeah.
Like track and field, cycling.
The people who have sent in long list competitors are, yes, track and field, triathlon, swimming, squash, gymnastics, and who am I missing? Triathlon, squash. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Yeah, that's five you gave me.
Yeah.
It wasn't typing.
Cycling. Thank you.
Oh, you can have
Cycling.
Okay.
Sorry for leaving cycling out. Cycling.
Last but not least, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So the main thing is that we send a team that can be competitive and obviously
That's
be
right.
in contention for medals.
Medals,
Yeah,
final
yeah,
spots,
yeah,
personal
yeah.
best, absolutely.
No,
So no, we're not sending freebies. We're not sending, this is, and you know what, I keep trying to tell people when they ask, this really is not a developmental meet. This is not a meet that we are sending people for the opportunity to compete. Yes, it's an opportunity, of course it is, but our junior athletes will have to come correct. They're up against some of the best in the world. So as you said, you called a couple of names there. If Erica Hawley qualifies, she will be lining up next to Flora Duffy, who is right now the top triathlete on the planet.
She has picked herself, for example, her and Tyler Butterfield, without you committing who's going. I mean, it's fair to say that Flora will be good unless something happens.
Oh, absolutely.
In other words, there are some that are qualified who may not go, but Flora won't be one of them.
Flora has not told us that she does not want to go to the Gold Coast.
So that means already in pain.
Yeah. But again, if Erica has to qualify. If she doesn't, then there's no relay.
Erica has to qualify. Tyler has to qualify. Both Tylers have to qualify. Flora has to qualify. It is what it is. They all have to qualify. And the BTA has been an incredible bunch of ambassadors for these people and advocates for them. So they have set very stringent but very fair standards that the Bermuda Olympic Association will be upholding. And I mean, if those kids make that qualification time, rest assured they will do well at the Gold Coast.
My understanding was that the only one that hadn't qualified was Erica.
That's not so. For triathlon, we have 3. We expect them to meet a standard that was determined of within 5% of the winner's time over the course of 3 of their ITU certified meets. It's not that, so obviously Flora has been the winner at 3 or more. So obviously everybody else has to come within 5% of that time, all the women who are vying for those spots. So it's not that Erica has not qualified. We have received, we've received proof of several meets that could possibly be considered as her qualification meets. So I mean, the committee has to go over all of those. Anybody who was not the winner, we have to figure out if they've made 5% of that time. So that's basically what it boils down to.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, in some cases, nobody will be competing between now and the 22nd. We're just going to have to look at what times they've sent.
Well, for example, yeah.
There are people competing.
There are people competing. In fact, we've had to, we had an appeal to extend the qualifying time so that an athlete could go to a meet that would give her the chance to qualify. And I think that the standards committee was very gracious in extending the deadline for one athlete. And the reason we did that is to make sure that we have given ample opportunity to people to make the time.
How excited are you about your role as chef?
I'm so excited. I was an athlete. My first Commonwealth Games was in 2002 in Manchester, and I was fresh-faced and ready to go. And I hope that the athletes of today see that sports can be a career. It can be a lifelong opportunity to give back to the country. And it doesn't have to be through participation in the sport, but even just, being the face of Bermuda again has been, it's an awesome opportunity for me. And I'm glad to be part of it. Really glad to be part of it.
When you get the call or the message that you would be the chef for Commonwealth, what were you more nervous about? Your first Commonwealth Games or having to lead a team?
Oh no, it's always this. I have absolutely no control over these performances. This falls on the back of these athletes, and all I can do is make sure that the chips are in the right order, and we'll have them fall as they may. But right now, I mean, I'm always nervous. I first of all, it was surreal to even get that call. It's
straightforward yes from you? Or
oh, absolutely. What an opportunity I mean, let's be honest. I sit around the table at the Olympic Association with an entire gamut of experience and charity. I mean, these people have given years, decades of their lives to sports. So to even be considered worthy of leading Team Bermuda in this capacity, I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I mean, as I said, my first Commonwealth Games, I was 19 years old at the 2002 Games in Manchester, and it's amazing to have come full circle. And really, I mean, I was shocked. I was shocked. I was surprised, and I'm just feeling very, very grateful. So I will do my best, and I'm hopeful that we create an environment where these athletes can pull out some amazing performances.
What other chef tasks responsibilities did you have? What other chef assignments did you have?
Yeah, so I was chef de mission at the Nanjing Youth Olympic Games, which right to date is my favorite. I mean, I think that was in Nanjing, China.
That was what year it came out?
2014. Yeah. And we took 7 young athletes to Nanjing, and I was probably equally as nervous. And I think that it's the difficulty with kids is you don't know what they've done, what they've seen, what kind of experience they've had. So basically, I sat them down and put a whole bunch of pressure on these kids. I said, look, we sent you to China. We're expecting you to do well. We want medals. We want finalists. And I mean, every single one of those kids either had a PB or made a final. And that was 7 kids, and that's amazing. And today, we're looking at 5 of those kids who are vying for spots on the Commonwealth Games team. So the cool thing about this is we're seeing right out of this entire mechanism, from Youth Olympic Games and Youth Commonwealth Games to big people, Commonwealth Games, Pan Am Games, and hopefully the Olympic Games. So
what other chef job did you have?
And the other one was assistant chef at the CAC Games under Donna Rayner.
From those experiences, what do you take into the Commonwealth Games? From the Nanjing and you was in a lot, was it?
Yeah, I was. I think, you know what? I think that I want athletes to know that the administration is working for them. I want them to know that we are 100% behind them. So what I'm taking from my previous experience is that I need to do everything that I can do to ensure that the conditions are perfect for them to pull out the performances of their lives. And the other thing, I I mean, some of these athletes that we're taking are household names globally. I mean, they invoke fear in people from much larger countries. So what I want them to know, and I've seen that in both of those games, you know, I want them to know that they are just as worthy of putting on that Speedo, of getting on that bike, as any of these people. So, yeah, that's it.
Call some names of people who are in contention that you
So-
mentioned household names.
Yeah, I mean, the 4 triathletes are in contention. We've got, on the long list for track and field, we've got Olympians Trey Houston and Tyrone Smith. We've got first ever Bermudian Front Street Miler, Dave Miners, winner. So he is there. Girls on the list, we've got young Sakari Famous, Tiara DeRosa, Tahira Butterfield. For swimming, we've got Jessie Washington and Maddie Moore. Cycling, very experienced Dominique Mayo, Nicole Mitchell, who's been to the Commonwealth Games before and the CAC Games. We've got 2 young gymnasts. And then squash, we've got Micah Franklin, Noah Brown. So, I mean, and these people, I mean, when I think of squash, they're top 200 in the world, which is amazing. So, yeah, these are people who people know.
What would Janai Parent, did you mention him?
I didn't, but yes, he's on the long list. He's one of the youth Olympians who are on the long list. Yeah. It's everybody you can think of. Like, I don't have to name names. All the superstars plus a lot of youth. So, I mean, some of your people from Carifta who you know are on that list, vying for spots.
So a medal will be a first medal for you as well as chef commission.
Yeah,
Chef
yeah.
commission,
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, we'd love to get some Commonwealth medals, and I really don't think it's outside of our reach. I don't.
It all comes together.
And I mean, if I can be frank about triathlon, I mean, yes, Flora Duffy is the one to beat. She's the household name, but I mean, this is Erica Hawley and Tyler Smith's domain. They do sprint triathlons. That's what they do. So I have no less of.
That's going to be, of course, the triathlon team for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have no less faith in the fact that if those kids are selected, they will do well than I do in Flora Duffy. I believe wholeheartedly that if they are selected to this team, that they will be in contention of doing very, very well for this country.
The other triathlon.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely, absolutely.
Audio Jungle.